Bob, really, you're an inspiration to so many folks, of course. And of course, I know we're going to talk about the book in a little while, but tell us who or what was your inspiration, really, behind the, you've gone through so many things over the course of time.
Yeah.
Tell us about the
has to be
inspiration.
my wife. There's just no way around it. I just came into this world and married this lovely woman. We had 3 boys, and then suddenly it became a responsibility, and she just kind of showed me, first off, we need to feed these kids right, and she was moved by books about Adele Davis and Gaylord Hauser and prevention. This was back in the 50s, believe it or not.
Right.
And I really didn't fight it. I know a lot of guys, they fight their wives and stuff like that over how they eat and everything. But it seemed good to me. She baked the best bread. So really the start of this whole thing was the way we ate. And the boys are all good and healthy. I'm 84. I work every day. I come to work at 8 in the morning and go home at 5.
They still let you in the door.
Yeah, they do. I got a key.
So in some ways, this could also be, your story is rising from the ashes, and you've had all sorts of experience in growing a very successful company, and so it doesn't go without experiences.
No, failure is good. I mean, I had a gas station. I did well at it, so I thought I could do anything. So I bought another gas station, and I failed. Okay, I'm broke. I start over.
You ran out of gas.
Yeah. Why didn't I think of that? But it took 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and then the next thing that came along was the mill idea. And after 10 years in the mill, I had an arsonist burn the building down. So by this time I'm 60 years old. I got to start over again. So I haven't had to do that for a long time.
I mean, was there any correlation between it being Bob's red mill, being in the red for a while and coming back into the black?
Oh, well, actually, the mill part of this business has been good. Honest, it has. One of the first things that happened when I opened the business was the local TV station, Channel 2 in Portland, came out and kind of did what you're doing here. And within a couple of weeks, I had parking lot full. And Portland, Oregon is a very friendly city. And the media has been incredibly special to me. I've worked hard, but I've had a lot of satisfaction from people recognizing what I'm doing, coming out to the old mill. But the fire, I have to admit that I thought a few times about maybe I ought to quit. I had some insurance money, but by that time, I had 7, 8 people working for me that I learned something about the fire. They expected to work the rest of their life for me, and I really wasn't thinking that way. But the sense of responsibility, listen, I've got to make this thing go. So we just basically picked up from the ashes, moved into a bigger building, and actually we just moved out of it 5 years ago to a much larger one. And I guess you could say we made a success out of it.
Let's talk about translating, 50s into, now certainly 21st century people's consumption of a product that you had to pioneer.
I did.
Pretty amazing.
Well, I thought in the very beginning that maybe 10% of the people in the world, or at least in the United States, would have some interest in whole grains. And I keep raising that, and now I don't know where I am. Maybe 100%. Certain studies and things have helped me to see that really everyone needs to eat whole grains, and so we've coined a few things like whole grain food for every meal of the day and things like that hopefully to suggest to people that whole grain rice, whole grain flours and things like that are actually good for them. And I think that from some of the medical people that I'm working with, that it's a good idea. So I try to feel now that we should appeal to you. You should have cereal for breakfast.
A championship athlete like I am. So let's
go.
talk about the athlete diet real quick. Just, this being part of the everyday to perform both mentally and physically.
Me?
Well, just
I have cereal every morning. I have one of my own. I make a lot of them. I've got probably 30 cereals.
Yeah.
My wife goes around and around, and we have this one and that one. I put bananas on it. I have a whole retinue of things that we put on, including flaxseed meal.
Right.
You know, Dave, there must be some reason why I can get up every morning and enjoy coming to work.
Right. So, Bob, but those that are watching right now, so they know that you're, the most wholesome of whole.
Don't spread it too thick.
But there's got to be a confession you have of some meal, something you have that most people don't know that you'll eat on a certain day or once a year. So your confession of diet.
I don't know. I'm not a vegetarian. And certainly, I don't know, Saturday night I like a prime rib or something, and I don't eat it all the time. I think too much of that stuff probably isn't good for you, but I'm countering that with a lot of whole grains. I eat whole grains all the time. We have our own restaurant, which, as you can see behind us here, and I go there for breakfast or lunch every day, and I have the same things there that I can have at home. I feel better when I start in the morning with, say, 10-grain cereal or something like that, and it raises your blood sugar level slowly, and you're not hungry at 10 o'clock looking for a Coke or something, especially like a sweet roll and that kind of thing. Whole grains help your blood sugar level to balance and not make you hungry all the time, and it helps. I have to say, I think it has something to do with who I am and how I've been able to sustain my life for as long as I have.
That's beautiful, Bob. So let's how about a quick bit of advice for those who are entrepreneurially directed. They, as you being a source of inspiration, how to get to your level of.
Well, I tell you what, I just got a good one this morning. Do things you don't have to do. And, when you think about that, as a business person, you're in control. I mean, basically, you as an entrepreneur, you really are in control. And I think, as I look at my own life and the importance of my people, I have 305 people. We run the plant 24 hours a day. As I think back at where this thing has come all these years, I can't hardly believe. I come down at night sometimes and walk around and say hi to my people. We have a lot of appreciation, breakfasts and lunches and things. But I think that phrase that we were all talking about it this morning, do good things you don't have to do. And as a business person, you've got people that are expecting you to do the right thing. But what they're not expecting you to do is to do the things you don't have to do. I mean, good things. And can I leave it with that kind of advice?
I think you've done a great job, Bob. Really, it's been a pleasure.
Dave.
It's been a pleasure talking to you this
Pleasure
morning.
talking
Yes,
to you.
absolutely.